Well, we had a few questions that we shared about, and maybe we could go through some of those. And maybe the first one would be, when the Holy Father calls the church to be young, what do you think are the characteristics of young people today that will help the church be more effective in proclaiming Christ and in its mission to build the kingdom of God?
One characteristic I see in young people today is just a boldness, a new confidence in recognizing whether it's injustice or problems or inefficiency and ineffectiveness. Young people not see these things and are motivated, like it seems, from within to change it. They don't need necessarily some of the external, whether it's money or reputation. I see young people motivated to make these changes just on their own merit or on their own confidence, and that just seems like such a gift that they can give the church right now.
Yeah.
That boldness.
I feel like millennials get bashed a lot, and like whenever I'm identified as a millennial, I kind of think like, no, I'm not. Like I don't want to be identified those people. But like, there's a lot of negative things that people will characterize millennials with. But that's the one positive thing that you always hear is like millennials, people of this generation, really want to change the world and change the world for good.
Mm-hmm. And the sense of justice, even in now millennial and then Generation Z coming up in high school right now. I'm just always amazed at their energy and when a cause is set in their mind, or when an injustice, or when something that needs to be changed, or a rut, or something that's just not working, there's not a hesitancy of wanting to stay with what's always been done. There's a boldness and, well, let's change it then. Like, how can we make this better? And to just go for it instead of feeling timid about that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely just a willingness to take on challenges, and that excitement to try new things and to do things that have never done before, or just that will get them out of their comfort zone, or just change things up a little bit that bring new life.
Okay.
I love how he says, a wise young person is open to the future, yet still capable of learning something from the experience of others.
Mm-hmm. And he also said that a youth is a state of mind, which is interesting. It's not just about the physical appearance or your age. It's the state of mind you're in, and how old the church is. Pope Francis is calling the church to be young and to be a youth, and when the church is truly herself, it is young, and that's why it's just it's a state of mind more, I think.
And that's a funny concept, isn't it? Like he says that the church is young when she stays true to her source. So you could almost say like the church is young when she recognizes her age or her oldness. And you see this all the time with young people. Young people are attracted to practices of Catholicism that are traditional, right? Yeah. But the church is young when she returns to her source and recognizes what makes her different from the rest of society.
It almost makes Jesus' interaction with the youth continually in the Gospels almost a parable as well. Because I think there's more to it than Jesus saying these are cute little kids. I think it's a call to everyone else to realize why the kingdom of God has a special place with these little ones.
Yeah, you won't enter the kingdom of God until you become like these little ones.
Our society is so fixated on not just youth, but certain aspects of youth. And it's almost like when you have that, you hold on to it as long as you can. And then when you don't, you don't. And life is almost over for some reason. And it's so tragic. I contrast that. As I mentioned earlier, I was in the Northwest Territory for a relatively short time. And I was intrigued with how Indigenous people reverence elders. And they have maybe some of the generational difficulties speaking with elders like I grew up with. But elders were a group in their own right who spoke to the generation and the culture from being an elder, and their manhood or their womanhood, their sexuality, being a mother or father or grandfather or grandmother, their role in the community was a treasure. I remember an elder, a Dene woman, dying in hospital in Yellowknife, and there must have been 25 Dene people in that one room, most of them young people, trying to reach out and touch that elder because even though she was unconscious, she had a special blessing to give the community because she was an elder. You know, it was a great respect from a young person to an elder person of a mysterious relationship that was powerful to experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's really neat.
Pope Francis has one simple little line in this document where he says that each stage of life is a permanent grace. So just like in this race to try to cling on to the transient things of youth, what are the beautiful, the true things that'll always be there with us, that carry through, the beautiful things about being an elder, being young, being a child, that there is something that we learn that stays with us. So there's a beautiful message of hope in that too.